So the money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money.
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
On top of that, it's generally not how they think.
Right.
You know? I mean, look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
What if the man who built his entire empire around the phrase Money Mayweather suddenly found himself in the one fight he never trained for? The fight against his own financial image. Because 50 Cent is laughing, commentators are questioning, old financial stories are resurfacing.
All the money, you gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like 3 million. There's watches that are 3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember Iran Barkley was talking about it.
And suddenly the internet is asking the one question nobody wants to ask out loud. Is Floyd Mayweather actually running out of money? Or are we watching the greatest financial illusion in boxing unfold in real time? Now hold on, because before you start typing Floyd is broke, stop right there.
$1 billion within his career in earnings, but he's saying he never saw any of it because of what he's alleging to be this like big financial fraud scheme that was perpetrated, he alleges, by his advisor at the time, Al Heyman, and now he's claiming that Heyman got substantial participation and aid from Showtime and former Showtime Sports president Steven Espinoza. Steven and Showtime are actually listed as defendants. Al Heyman is not being sued, but he's mentioned in the documents. Now he's saying that, you know, he worked with Al Heyman for over a decade and that funds were misappropriated insanely. He says that a significant portion of his career earnings, to the tune of, I told you guys over 300, but it's exactly $340 million, went missing. And he's saying that that all happened because of this, whatever this partnership that he's claiming was not right between Showtime and Al Heyman. He says that money to this day is still missing and unaccounted for. And he references some of his biggest fights, including the Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor.
So why pretend to be Money Mayweather all those years? Like, if you know you wasn't getting all that money. Because one thing Mayweather used to do was brag about how much he was making for fights. Like, you didn't realize it was...
Because the story is nowhere near that simple, and this is where things get messy. Reports and online speculation have raised questions about Mayweather's finances, including alleged legal disputes involving hundreds of millions of dollars. While
posts $100 million checks after fights. And the fact that he named Manny Pacquiao fight, Conor McGregor, those are fights he claimed to make so much money off. So I'm just saying, you didn't realize the money was missing back then? He
says in this document that to this day that there's still money, I guess, I don't know what he's recouping on the back end that would have still been coming his way to this day, but he's saying that there's still money that is missing and unaccounted for in addition to what would have been his then. To this day. So I don't know. His attorney said Floyd is one of boxing's biggest pay-per-view draws. He generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for Showtime. Mr. Mayweather now takes the fight to the courtroom to recover what is rightfully earned.
But is he the one reviewing the contracts? I mean, shouldn't he have a team? He should have had a team then.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He got so much business.
And
sometimes I feel like there's a disconnect there where it's like, once you start uncovering all this stuff, you realize it might not just be an alleged Showtime and Al Heyman thing. There's like accountants and
your team,
or business managers and financial managers.
Or he could get money per...
Commentators have pointed toward his famously extravagant lifestyle as another possible piece of the puzzle. But then 50 Cent enters the chat, and you already know what happens when 50 sees a weakness. He doesn't knock on the door, he kicks it open with a microphone in one hand and a punchline in the other. The two have been trading shots for years, but this time the timing is almost too perfect.
When you got a 40-man entourage, you got other people, and you take everybody out, pay for everything, shopping, the mall, going out to eat, renting out an entire movie theater. Yeah, just to go watch a movie at whatever time he wanted. It was like the theater was closed when we had rolled up to the movie theater, and you know, you got the girls and all. Yeah, and you rent out a whole movie theater for 40, 50 plus people.
Financial controversy swirling around Floyd, 50 Cent ready with commentary, fans watching every move. Suddenly, this isn't just another celebrity feud. It feels like the old Money Mayweather story has been flipped upside down. And here comes the first twist. The question may not be whether Floyd has money. The question could be whether Floyd has enough liquid money to support the lifestyle that made him famous. Because
he's broke, I think you'd have to tell me, like, what is broke? He don't have $0. Floyd still has money, a lot. I just think that maybe the lifestyle and, I don't know, maybe catching up. I mean, I don't know. I've been to a strip club, like, it pulls in money. He's got money coming in. I don't know if he still has, was it the girls' lounge or something like that. But no, it was, he gets money, I just don't know how much, but I don't pocket watch. But if he is going broke, then it makes sense why he is fighting. I've heard rumors, I've heard the rumors too. I just don't know, like, how, like, what is...
There is a gigantic difference between being wealthy and constantly having cash available. You can own expensive watches, properties, cars, aircraft, and other valuable assets, and still have a completely different cash flow situation behind the scenes. And according to the commentators featured in this discussion, that distinction is exactly where the mystery begins. Fake breaking news, well, not actually breaking news, but you know the vibe.
You got 2 hands and 2 feet, and just one of you. You need 1 car. 2, if that. Get your car in a truck. That's it. That's all you need. But he had an image to maintain based on what he created and who he was.
According to Sharp's perspective, Mayweather could have several reasons for returning to the ring besides financial pressure, including his love for competition, staying in the spotlight, and the opportunity to earn another massive payday.
Obviously, I'm not sure if he's in financial problems or not, but why would you at this age come out of retirement after not fighting since what, 2017, if I'm not mistaken, something like that?
About 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. Outside of exhibitions, obviously, is to do what he's always said is have a bank robbery with no mask on. So if that's what you're gonna do, there are only 3 fights. Chat, listen to me. There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date.
The internet has entered full money mayhem mode. Suddenly, every luxury watch becomes evidence. Every car becomes evidence. Every appearance becomes evidence. Every comeback rumor becomes evidence. And somehow social media has turned into a courtroom where the jury consists of people scrolling with one hand and eating snacks with the other. But let's slow down for exactly 2 seconds.
Cleaned out to the tune of $175 million.
What?
Claiming a former close associate ran a year-long scheme that allegedly drained his bank accounts, hijacked real estate deals, pawned off his jewelry, and even made his private jet disappear.
Damn.
According to TMZ, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling has handed over to a Miami jeweler for only $13 million in return. And he said a huge chunk of the collection is still sitting with the dealer. Floyd also says he unknowingly signed paperwork transferring ownership of his Gulfstream jet with a fire section left blank, and says he still doesn't know where the aircraft money went. Floyd also reportedly has been ordered to pay more than $1 million in child support after a Nevada judge ruled the retired boxer fathered a 4-year-old girl born to a former dancer at his Las Vegas strip club. Floyd also faced a reported $7.3 million IRS lien. Ocho, with the lavish lifestyle that Floyd has built over the years, the jet, the entourage, non-stop spending, has he created a lifestyle that when he was making $200-400 million a year, he was able to...
Because the claims being circulated are allegations and speculation, not proof that Mayweather is bankrupt. In fact, several commentators in the discussion specifically pushed back against the idea that Floyd has somehow gone from hundreds of millions to having nothing. So why is everybody talking? Because Floyd created one of the most expensive public images in sports history. This wasn't a guy quietly driving a regular car and occasionally buying a nice watch.
Floyd is broke and this and that. I don't know Floyd like that. I don't know the man's finances, and I'm not gonna get up here and pretend like I do. I just hope, I can hope
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm excited. I'm excited as a fan of Floyd, as a fan of boxing. I look forward to him not fighting exhibition, but having to fight and actually train the way he's always trained that has him 50-0. That has me excited. Is he gonna look like the Floyd we're used to seeing when he fought earlier in his career, when he's been in the 20s, when he's in the 30s? Probably not. But
his reflexes are slower.
Yeah, even if his reflexes are a little slower, it gives me a certain excitement. It gives me a certain excitement to know Floyd is coming back to that ring, going back into the ring, and he's going to take a fight very seriously. He's going to change.
This was Money Mayweather. The watches had to sparkle, the cars had to multiply, the entourage had to look like an entire basketball team. Vacations had to look like movie premieres. And the message was always the same. I have money, I make money, and I'm going to show you the money. But then the numbers being discussed start getting ridiculous. One commentator referenced an alleged lifestyle cost of around $3 million per month. Think about that for a second. $3 million every month would be roughly $36 million a year, before you even start talking about taxes, investments, business expenses, legal costs, property expenses, or anything else. That's not a budget. That's a small corporation with some...
He is running a negative net profit every year. If you view it like a business, he's at a negative 10, I don't know the exact numbers, but we can assume 10 or 20 million per year because he's no longer getting the fight income.
It's absolutely insane. You kind of snuck in a gem there that I don't think people really realize the magnitude that we're at. You just told me that you estimate, and this is, by sources close to Floyd or former managers of Floyd, that he is spending $3 million per month.
I think what's hard for all of us to grasp, and I'm including myself in this, I'm sure...
100 cars. But right here, we like to call this the Sweet 16. Lambo, Ferrari, Lambo, Maybach, a Maybach, whatever you want to call it. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. But you know what? What's crazy is this. If we add 10 more days, I take 10 more watches. But then I say, if I want to bring out the one and only, then I bring out the watch that costs 18 million. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do for you motherfuckers today? I'm gonna go for $50,000 because I ain't got else to do. Money made.
Glasses. And this is where the story takes another turn, because Floyd's career was built around enormous fight paydays. When you're actively fighting, a massive payday can replenish the machine. But when you're retired, the equation changes. The money coming in may not arrive at the same speed as the money going out. Suddenly, the question becomes, what happens when the Money Mayweather machine has no regular boxing engine underneath it? And then, bam! Another twist. Floyd has repeatedly been associated with exhibition bouts and comeback speculation, and commentators have wondered whether major fights could provide another giant payday. That doesn't automatically mean financial desperation. It could simply mean opportunity. After all, if someone offers you an enormous check to step back into the spotlight...
Plus, speculative that he had $500,000 a day splurges.
Yeah.
Is that sustainable? He had multiple business ventures that failed. He had the lifestyle with multiple women and different things. Like, bro, I get it. But dang, and let this be a message to all athletes. And I'm not trying to rag on Floyd, because I still have so much respect for Floyd. Every time I see Floyd, it's like, he one of the ones.
Yeah.
Because contrary to whatever it is, he's still a great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, we gotta do better with our money.
Yeah.
How? We have to put ourselves on a realistic longevity plan that even though you got the money fast, you can't
trust and I'm not saying his background, but if you're not used to money, don't have money in our community, who do you trust? How do you trust? How do you go about finding somebody to put you on a budget to do that? Because
that B word right there, budget. Even in the midst of the height of your career, budget. That's not to say that you can't have certain things, budget.
Because a lot of people look at budget as a bad thing.
No.
Like, oh, you broke because you're on a budget.
No. Balling on a
budget.
No, heck no. Budget says to you, okay, when you are getting excessive. Above all, this is what you can spend and what you can't spend. That's not to say even if you do spend what you can't spend, you're gonna make it back. You can't make it a regular thing of what you can't spend.
Why wouldn't you consider it? But the timing is what makes fans suspicious. And then 50 Cent makes it even louder. According to the transcript, 50 mocked Mayweather over the reported financial dispute and essentially revived an old warning. Read the contracts. Now, whether you think 50 is giving legitimate commentary or just doing what 50 does best, turning somebody else's headline into his own comedy special, the effect is the same. Everybody starts looking backward. Floyd's old claims about fight earnings, the famous checks, the luxury purchases, the massive entourage, the watches, the cars, the properties. And suddenly fans are asking, if everything was so financially secure, why are there now so many questions? But wait, because here comes another twist that completely changes the picture. Reports discussed in the video suggest Mayweather has alleged that enormous sums connected to his career earnings were mishandled or remain unaccounted for.
There's this YouTuber named Spencer Cornelia who apparently followed one of the lawsuits where Floyd has filed recently, and Floyd filed a bunch. He sued Showtime for scamming him out of money. He sued, I think, Al Heyman, and I think he sued someone else. And even Business Insider claiming that he's owed money and that in certain cases he was robbed of money. Now, apparently one of these people that were accused by him reached out to this journalist and gave a lot of proof to show how Floyd's finances have been over the years. And they claimed that they knew that Floyd was eventually going to turn on them because Floyd just was spending out of control. I know this is a lot, but I want you guys to take this in. So apparently, Floyd starts working with the guy. Now he's suing the guy. He claims that he never knew that this guy was, convicted by the feds back in the day, and it was for some money stuff. Now we're getting proof to say, nigga, you knew he was convicted because you wrote a letter to try to help him get a favorable sentence. So the theory is that Floyd will use the media to make himself look like a victim to get.
Those are serious allegations, and they should remain exactly that. Allegations until established through reliable evidence and official proceedings. But even the existence of such claims changes the conversation, because now the story isn't simply Floyd spent too much. It becomes what happened to the money, what was invested, who managed it, and how much was actually available. That is a much bigger question. And then another financial theory enters the room. Asset rich, cash light. Imagine having a closet full of extremely valuable watches, but not wanting to sell them. Instead, according to the speculation discussed, someone could potentially use valuable assets as collateral for financing.
Floyd has such a crazy lifestyle, he's not cash rich anymore, even though he has a lot of assets. So what he would do is he'd be like, yo, take my watches as collateral and give me a loan. And the loan is not to really to pay anything substantial other than to run his lifestyle, which is a lot. So it appears that because Floyd's significant amount of income comes from him boxing and he's been retired, if he doesn't get a fight or some exhibition where he's getting paid a shit ton of money, essentially what ends up happening is that he has assets, but he doesn't have a lot of cash. So when he gets into debt, he'll take out loans against his assets, which might be a watch, might be a plane, might be anything. And that's how he's been trying to survive until he could get the next lick. What's the next lick? Remember, he hasn't set up his business where he's getting a ton of residual income passively. Most of his licks, quote unquote, are going to come from him being in the ring, which, how much could he still?
Suddenly the watch isn't just jewelry, it becomes part of a financial strategy. The private aircraft isn't just transportation. The property isn't just a mansion. The luxury collection becomes an asset base, and that means the flashy lifestyle could look completely different from the outside than it does on a balance sheet. But here's where things get even more interesting. Some commentators argue that the biggest danger isn't spending money. It's spending money based on the assumption that another huge payday is always coming. Boxing teaches fighters to think about the next opponent. Wealth management requires thinking about the next decade. Those are completely different mindsets, and you can dominate a boxing ring for 20 years and still need an entirely different strategy to dominate retirement. And that may be the hidden lesson buried underneath all the noise. Because Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, and others aren't necessarily saying Floyd has no money. They're questioning whether a lifestyle built during peak earning years can remain sustainable forever. And honestly, that's a conversation every athlete understands. The money arrives fast. The attention arrives faster. Suddenly, everybody around you needs something. Friends become business partners. Business partners become advisors. Advisors become part of the inner circle. And before you know it, the person who used to count punches is counting invoices. Then comes the wildest part. Chael Sonnen in the discussion takes the most aggressive position and basically says the entire idea of boxing earnings needs to be questioned. Those legendary numbers we hear, hundreds of millions here, $500 million there, billion-dollar career claims, aren't always as straightforward as social media makes them sound. Gross revenue isn't the same thing as personal income. A payday isn't the same thing as profit. And profit isn't the same thing as money sitting untouched in a bank account. That distinction alone completely changes the story. And this time, the opponent isn't Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, or another undefeated challenger. It's the clock, the lifestyle, the business model, and the decisions made when nobody is watching. So now I want to know what you think. Is this really a story about Floyd Mayweather losing control of his finances? Or are fans confusing an extravagant lifestyle and complicated financial claims with actual bankruptcy? Because after everything we just heard, maybe the biggest question isn't where did Floyd's money go? Maybe it's how much of the Money Mayweather story did we ever really understand?